Arsenal versus Coventry City. This, my friends, was the opening game of the Premier League. The Premier League was back, 2026-27, baby. And Arsenal were returning to the Prem as defending champions. That's right, Arsenal won the 2025-2026 Premier League. Going into this game, Arsenal obviously had a lot of momentum. I mean, they were champions. They won their first title in 22 years. Things were going great. On their opening match day, they had to face a team that had recently gotten promoted. A team that wasn't there, that was familiar with the Premier League. That doesn't mean they've been here in a while. Coventry City have been gone from the Prem for a long time. This was their first game back in a minute. They've been away for quite some time. Meanwhile, Arsenal have been dominating the Prem for ages, while Coventry had been down in the lower leagues. So obviously, Arsenal fans had a reason to believe that this was going to be an easy 3 points, and this was an easy 3 points. Kai Havertz scored in the 15th minute, Bukayo Saka scored in the 23rd minute, and Martin Odegaard, Arsenal's captain, scored the third and final goal in a 3-0 win over Coventry City. This win put Arsenal right back at the top of matchday win, and Arsenal fans had a lot to be happy about. This was a dream start to the league. They were on top. Things were going great. They hadn't conceded the goal. They were playing fluid football. They didn't have to rely on around football tactics. Things were going great. You can't say the same for Manchester United fans. No, things for Manchester United fans ain't going so well right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Man United fans are suffering. We all knew that Man United fans didn't have nothing going for them for a while. But recently, things ain't been going so well. I mean, they did good in preseason, and last season, like 25-26, they finished third in the Premier League. Considering the fact that by Christmas, they were mid-table. They had to sack their manager, Ruben Amorim. They had to sack him and bring in Darren Fletcher just for them to get knocked out the FA Cup. So they sacked the interim manager and brought in Michael Carrick. And Michael Carrick did what he was supposed to do. He got them back on top. I mean, they defeated Arsenal, they defeated Man City. I'm pretty sure they completed a double beating on Liverpool. They got the job done. They even managed to go and beat him for more than 5 games in a row. And I think if you've been watching football for a while, you know what that 5 games in a row thing with Manchester United means. We're not gonna get too much into that. So basically, what happened was Manchester United had traveled to Hull City Stadium, and they were expected to win. Man United were expected to do what Arsenal did and defeat this side that recently got promoted and was 9 times out of 10 going to get relegated by May. By April at the earliest. No, that's not what Manchester United did. No, I'll tell you what Manchester United did instead. These guys had a corner. I'm talking about Hull City. Manchester United had a corner against them. They needed to defend their box. Corners are some of the most dangerous tactics used in football. Arsenal literally used corners to win the Premier League. They relied on own goal from corners to score for them in that first half of the season. It's you little ball watching at that show. All Manchester United had to do was defend their box, and everything was going to go fine. That's not what they did. No, what Harry Maguire did is he instead began man-marking Lucien Nazar, also known as Manchester United's right back, also known as his old teammate. Sure enough, Harry Maguire wasn't marking this man. Lucien Nazar was too busy getting man-marked in his own box by his own teammate. He was basically marking Maguire himself. And surprise, surprise, Simon Ajayi scored the goal. This was the perfect time for Manchester United to lock in, but that's not what they did. No, not only did they not lock in, they instead conceded another goal and let Nobel Mendy score the second goal in a 2-0 win. Because Man United didn't score, there's no one. They didn't score. They had 20 shots on target, but Hull City's keeper was having a legacy game. He was having a great game. He refused to let Man United score, and surprise, surprise, they won 2-0. Meaning that, surprise, surprise, Manchester United humiliated themselves. And they didn't win their opening game last year. They lost to Arsenal. I don't think they won their opening game in 23-24. I can't remember the last time Manchester United won their opening Premier League game. And they're supposed to play in the Champions League. Let's just be clear. There's no middle ground. It's either they're probably going to be like Tottenham. They're going to do all from the Prem, but they're going to be great in the Champions League. But when it's time for the round of 16, they're going to get their guts kicked at their home stadium. Or they're just going to be off from the Prem, they're going to be off from the Champions League, and they're going to go out of the Champions League, not even going to qualify for the playoff rounds, and they're going to finish in the bottom half of the Prem. There's no middle ground. There's no, they did okay, they did here, they did that. One of the two things is going to happen. Anyways, with that, Manchester United got off to a terrible start. But their start to the Premier League season was not as bad as Tottenham Hotspur's. No, Tottenham Hotspur had a lot of explaining to do themselves. Now, Spurs were just coming off a season where they'd nearly been relegated. That's right, Tottenham Hotspur, a supposed Big Six team, nearly got relegated on the final day. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. There was a time when Tottenham were competing for the Champions League. They were fighting for a Champions League title. Now they're fighting to get away from the championship. They only narrowly survived relegation on the final day last season, so they needed to lock in. That's not what they did, however. No, what they did instead is they let Keane Potter score an opener. 12th minute of the game. It's time to lock in. It's time to start scoring. It's time to start shooting. It's time to start attacking. No. Instead, 21 minutes later, they let Brentford's Vitaly Janelt score. After the halftime break, Michael Coyote of Brentford scored. 3-0 win. Spurs lose away from home, and they're now in a relegation spot on opening day. I mean, naturally, this isn't too surprising, but it really should be a priority for Spurs to start getting away from relegation. Because at this point, it's starting to get ridiculous. It's starting to get sad. It's time for them to start making changes. Because Arsenal fans are having the time of their lives. I mean, imagine that. Your team just won the Premier League. Your team just won the FA Community Shield and won 2 trophies in the same year. Your team just won 3-0 at home and we're at one point top of the Premier League. You're in a Champions League spot. Things are going fine. And then on the other hand, your 2 biggest rivals are suffering. They're suffocating themselves. They're in pain, they are in torment, they're suffering. While you just need to laugh about it because you're basically going to be top of the league. what? I already forgot who's top between Brentford and Hull. Maybe Brentford because they scored 3 goals, but not the point. Things are going great for Arsenal. If Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City all find a way to somehow lose their opening Premier League games, life as an Arsenal fan will be truly peak. Hey, you may have lost the Champions League final, but your life will be peak because all of your rivals will bring it back to the 2026 Champions League knockouts and all drop major stinkers when it matters. Anyways, enough of the Prem. I'm going to talk about the Prem a lot. The last game we're going to talk about is Real Madrid versus Espanyol. Now, Real Madrid has splashed huge cash during this summer transfer window. They brought in the likes of Marc Cucurella, Denzel Dumfries, etc., etc. Jude Bellingham did what he was supposed to do, and he scored the opener in Jose Mourinho's first game back as a Real Madrid manager. 21 minutes later, however, Alex Calatrava of RCD Espanyol would score an equalizer. The halftime break would come, and the game would go back and forth. There wouldn't be any goals, however. And to be honest, I think Vini Jr. might have used up all his energy trying to save Brazil at the World Cup, because he was not that good in this game. He was not that great. When stoppage time arrived, it looked like the game was going to end in a draw, and Real Madrid were probably going to do bad in the league again. But Carlos Espy of Real Madrid, one of their new signings, Carlos Espy scored a late winner in the 90th minute, giving Real the win. Meaning they won 1-2. They're in a good position in the league. They're just waiting for Barcelona's game, so we all are really. So with that, the Prem and La Liga are all starting. Later on, the Liga is going to start. Serie A has actually already started, meaning that we're only waiting on France, this Liga, and the German Super Cup just happened, but the Bundesliga starts on Saturday and Sunday. So football's back. There's no more World Cup. There's no more preseason. There's no more friendlies. The leagues are back. The Champions League is coming up. So there's that. I'll be reviewing those matches too. And I will be reviewing a lot of Prem and, Serie A matches down the road. But for now, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get the views up. I see the short forms doing well, but I want the long forms to start doing well too. So please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.